Hello, my name is Tenkitsune, and this is a breakdown of my latest free download song called Started Adventures, in which I have worked on for quite a while. Um, First, I really want to say that this is a direct feed from my project file on FL Studio and also being streamed to a few people on Discord right now. So this is can somewhat call a live and potentially unedited footage of the Startup Adventures breakdown. I might edit a few part out, but most of the content I really want to say will be here. Um, so let's get started with a few things. Um, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the history of Startup Adventures. So the song was started on summer 2017. That's one. The second one is this song has been scrapped and left unfinished for quite a while. I've been working on and off on the song. There's like three different versions of the songs, and I think I have this latest version before I scrap it. So after that, what I did is I completely revisit the project file and feel unsatisfied with the entire arrangement. I wrote the entire song from scratch, and it became this started adventures. There's not a lot to say about this, but I will try my best to explain the structure of the song arrangement, the song sound designs, and mixing and mastering of the song. So right now I have this part of the song right here. It's just a bunch of sample of video game arcade that I mash up together. It's basically generated from video game sound effect. It's been a long time ago. I generate on the sounds and I made it into folders. I mash that up and just became the sounds and stuff. So let's talk about this corporation. So this corporation is just an NES VST sounds, which is essentially just just a square wave, and I edit out the volume. This VST is my go-to NES synthesizers because it's free and it is pretty accurate to if you familiar to chip tune kind of musics, you will probably notice that this is kind of look like Family trackers, and essentially this is it. It's just like a VST version of Family Tracker. That's how I feels like, and it's very very accurate to recreate that that cheapness of the sounds to create something unique for your own sound. So I always in my music I always use very very old synthesizers to um, to 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 do that. So the first thing is the corporation. This is actually the first thing that I wrote in the song. So it sounds like this. So the first thing you notice that humanly you cannot play this on piano. So what I did is actually I play the main part of the chord progression, 4 note chord progression, and then I edit out everything's. As you can see, the velocity is normalized. There's no dynamics in the velocities. So so what I did is I just um I I keep writing the songs. I keep writing the progression. So as you can see, I added note to make it more to make it sound thicker. for the chord progression. So that was the first thing I did for the chord progression, and I really like this chord progression a lot. It gives you the dynamics of, of the entire vibe of the song, and that's what I really like. So that's the chord progression, and this square bass is very basic square bass. And I made this square bass in Serum, just basic square wave sounds, and the arps. The arp was from Omnisphere's. What patch was it? I actually don't remember what patch was it. I think it was. Oh, it's called In Memoriam's patch. It's the bells. I really like the sounds. I found it in like I just typed belf in Omnisphere and I found this patch and it's really awesome. There's a bunch of stuff in Omnisphere that you did not expect to find, because when I working on this part of the song, I just tried to find a good sound for an op, and this just go perfectly for it. So I just go for it. So if I play this part, it will go very well together. So the last part of the song right here is essentially the same things, but I adding the choirs and the vocal chops right here. So the vocal chop is just one sample. This this is like a one shot sound from a friend of mine that I have for quite a while. I don't remember when I got this, but it's just like it's just I need to turn off the sound effects. Here we go. So that's how it sounds like, and then I use the envelopes in volumes of the samplers and make it sounds like this. It cut the tail of the sample very well, that I have the area to work with. So I continue working with the messing around with the Beatspeak. This is like a plugin that modulating your sounds, pitch bending modulating sounds for based on the vocal synthesis effects back in the 80s, 90s. Basically, I really love this plugin. It's just amazing, absolutely amazing. So I got Beatspeak, I got Stereo Touch, because when you go to Beatspeak, it kind of get into mono space. So I went to Stereo Touch to stereoize the vocal, and the result was interesting. And I really like this, so I keep into the song, and I haven't changed this one a bit at all, because when I work on the song, I just plan to make the vocal chop as the placeholders for the main sounds, but it create its own personality and character in the melody. So I just keep it like that, and and it's really fun to hear. So I have at this part of the song, I add this thing right here. It's just a very basic 808 snare, and I just write the pattern right on the playlist. In the past, I just program this in the drum pattern, right? But I feels like, we can do so much stuff with the with the patterns, if we can just program it directly on the playlist. So I this is the way I do nowadays. But back then I just use like lazily use the drum program patterns, and now is really helped me a lot. Right here, as you can see, if I move this up and down, this is actually group. I don't know why I group like this, but I think it's because I wanted to I wrote this pattern like near the end of the song, so I was moving the entire things, and I was lazy to recreate by clicking each of the pattern at, at the times, and so I just group everything and just move back here. Yeah. Um, so I have this sample right here. It it is used to create the tension of the songs. It's just ambient break kind of sounds. Yeah, because it worked very well for a song like this, for a song that's playing at 174 BPMs, and it is absolutely amazing. So the choir is actually just like an Omnisphere's patch. All I did is I actually edit out the envelopes to make it sound better and more fit to the part of the songs. So that's the only things that I did. So yeah, this one right here is the NES VSTs that I show you earlier, but I use this for melodies at a higher pitch, alongside with the vocal chop to make it more to create the tension of the song alongside with this amen break sample. Um, and as you can see right here, is I have something called endless smile, and this is the intensities of the of the build up. So I use this intensity plugin. I'm sorry, endless smile plugin to create the build up and create the tension to the part of the song, and it's worked very well for me. It worked for every single song that I do. It is something that I use a lot, and essentially you can just recreate this with an EQ or reverbs. But for endless smile, you just need one knobs, and you just automate it, and it just work. It's like magic for me. Okay, now we gonna get into the most interesting part of the song, and it was this part right here. So as you can see, it's very simple. It took me about 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's only 4 synthesized tracks on this part, and the chord progression is the same as the intro chord progression, except for a few edit to make it sound more unique in the drop. The bass was actually the same thing as well, except for that I rewrite the pattern of the square bass and make it sound more interesting. So yeah, so I made this in serums, of course. It's a square bass, and I have a white noise right here, and I compress it with the distortion and I just use EQ to cut the high end, and it is very very effective to eliminate the unwanted high end of the sounds. I just use EQs on Serum, so because it has EQ, so why not using it? So yeah, so this and this gonna go together. So if I play this, oh okay, so I will talk about this in a bit. But if I play this, yeah, if this is without sidechain, but with the sidechain, it really really does makes the song bouncy, the drop bounces, and it made the entire drop sounds better. There's nothing very very special about this drop. It's very very it's like happy hardcore futurecore kind of songs. So so this is how it sounds like with the sidechain on. So by part is this that I have this. This is a kick that I made from like a kick from Bay ISM. This is a very very good plugin to make the you know to make the Bay drums. Unfortunately, it's freezing for me right now. Give me 1 second. Oh, here we go. So yeah, is I use I think for the songs I use Bay ISMs because it really really does give me like the controls to the tonal of the kick, and it gave me the ability to edit the kick whenever I want, and it's very very good for me to eliminate the processing process in the mixers. So without the kick, it sounds like this. So the sidechain have bring out the kick more. Oh, I think is that I misclicked something over here. So oh, here we go. Okay, so before I'm going further to the kicks and the drums, in general, I'm gonna talk about the lead of the drop. It's just silence. Oh, okay. So it's just basically silence VST, and I use the patch from Silent, and it creates that sounds for me. With the I edit out this patch with the portamento to put it a little bit about 11 o'clock, I believe, to make this this glide effects on the keyboard. So first I was thinking about finding different sounds for this, but it's actually just work. It just work very very well. Sometimes you don't know what's going on to the song, so it just work whenever it just work. it is just unexpected. It's a very very unexpected thing. So here's the drums in full glories. I layers with the clap, the pre-ship clap, and then another cymbals down here to make it sound. Yeah, so that's how it is. So this part right here. So this part right here, I layers with another plugin called it's called Vitals, and this is how I'm gonna solo this. This is combined with the existing chord progression patch, and it's just work. So this lead right here is how I wrote this lead was actually I use a chord progression, and I use I burn out the MIDI for the ARP using the burn MIDI function right here, because I made it I made the ARP in FL Studio ARP aggregators function, and then I burned the MIDI out, and it just became this. Of course, when you do the burn MIDI's things in FL Studio, you have to edit the note, because it's not accurate. It's never gonna be 100% accurate. So you have to edit out some part of the song to some part of the patterns of the ops to make it sound good to you. It's depending on how you want it to be. So that's one way I want to put it out. When you use the burn MIDI's function to burn out the aggregators from FL Studio. This part, the only thing that I added is I add extras overtone in the lead melodies. So here's a fun fact. This is a melody from Little Fox Wonderlands, and I put these melodies on every single songs that I have produced since 2019. Every single song that have my credit on my own music production, all of them have these melodies. So this is no exception. It depending on the song tone. So this can be modified. The song tone will be modified by basically to the main song pitch. So this one is about I believe it's about -4 semitones out of the original melodies. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I touched the project file, probably since December 2020. But right here's as you can see, there's something that I believe nobody really used that much, was the MIDI event. It turns out the MIDI event was actually very, very useful for me to transform onto my automation into MIDI, and to just use that MIDI event to burn in when you export the MIDI file into another DAW, because sometimes you really need to export this automation, but you don't know how to do it. So you just you just need to turn the automation into a MIDI event and put it into a different DAW to work on. So you can use that MIDI event and turn it into an automation in another DAW. It's really helpful for you. So this one, for this one only, I actually use MIDI event for um for first of all, it's just very easy for you to know which part of the song you want to pan, and also is a very easy way for you to understand how to actually make all of these work together. So for the automation, I don't believe that I don't believe that I can work that way. Um, so I just use MIDI event so I can look at the note and I can just pan to whatever I want to. And when I export the MIDI for stems or anything, it still have the MIDI event burn into the MIDI file. So it's very helpful for other people who actually gonna remix the song to have all the information they have, and it's one way for me to go. Um, so yeah, I think this is the only things that are aside from aftertouch. If you actually use a MIDI controllers and write a melody with the MIDI controllers, it will use MIDI event as an MIDI aftertouch event, and it's just gonna work for you very well. So that's the melodies, a massive break, bubble for effects, and the chord progression. For this sounds right here, this sounds right here is actually just a saw. Like every single song that I do with Serum or anything, it's always start either with square wave or saw. That's is very basic. I don't use any others wavetables for Serum. I just use square wave and saw and create everything. The most important thing about sound design was you start out with very basic thing. It's very it's for me. It just matter how you process the um the sounds for yourself, and it's really depending on how you want the sounds gonna be like. You can with the saw wavetable, you can actually use something called, or you can use a lot of wavetable WAP, for example band minus, or just like technically use something called FM from Bs, and you can modulate the WAP things with it. So you can make your own wavetable out of the saw wavetable using this WAP, and you can just resample it. Um, so I think that is the a thing for me. Like every single time I work something related to sound design, is always start with a saw wave, and then I process it on the audio effects channel and stuff. So so like so all right. So this part right here. So oof, here we go. So I got the samples, percussion sample, and then this. Yeah, it's a sample, the drum fill samples that I put in, and then this sounds right here. If I hear correctly, I forgot about this sounds. So if I remember correctly, I want it to be it should have the pitch bend by building an alpha. So again, I use saw sounds, just saw, and then I just modulate the things to the hard content, and so yeah, so all I did is just like low filters with cut off using using nothing. there's no envelope or earphones. I just use this and just slowly automated. I don't remember if I automated or not, but it shouldn't be automated. I hope so. Envelopes, attack, decay, release, and stuff. So I just fix the decay and release to as much as I can for the song. And this part right here, I believe this is the deactivated piano. Yeah, I don't really use this for this part. This up, Omnisphere up, as you can see, this piano. Classic M1 house piano that I use from an M1 VST, and what I did is just make it sound pretty ravey kind of pattern. Yeah, so that's just M1 piano. There's nothing special about it, and this melody right here is my signature flute, and I want to bring back the this is the part of the songs that I want to remind people that like this is still me, this is Tenkitsune's music, and this is remind everyone about my I want to bring out the memory that that people have listened to my music, uh, um, to have the glimpse of my music, my past music work. So I just all I did is I just bring out the flute contact. Yeah, everyone in the Discord, where I stream right now, just asking me questions, so I have something to say. So this is semi-script and also unscripted. So it's very interesting things to do. Massive break. I unsure what this is. Oh, it's my vocal. It's my vocal in the background to create that atmosphere for the for this part of the song. So this is the water sounds in the background to create the textures of the songs. On these two sounds right here. These are made in hammers, so unfortunately, I think my hammer failed to load or something like that, but it's supposed to sound like this. So it's essentially the same as the first build up, except for that I have the this sound. So this is the sounds that I exported from an arcade that is subscription loop samplers made by Output, the same people, same genius behind analog string for contact or analog brass. I don't remember what it is, but but I use analog string for sure. And it's absolutely amazing. Every month they have something new on arcade, and I use it for my music production and my other's music production. So I got this vocal from it, and I modified it to make it fit to the song. And this part right here I have is some things that I modulate up the vocal from Ableton Live, and it's worked very very well for me. So this part right here is the ops that I exported from here, and I put it into Ableton Live, and then I just process there with Corpus and stuff, and I just exported there back to FL Studio. There's some stuff that I use Ableton Live for it, because Ableton Live made amazing stuff for for sound design. So I use it. Well, essentially it's the same thing. So there's nothing much to say here. This is the lead fills in the background that I use to. Okay, so this drop is this part right here is very interesting for me, because I to be really honest, I don't know what's going on with this drop. So I just write out, because I was having trouble with idea, because I put a lot of time working on drop 1. So what I'm gonna do with drop 2, I have no ideas. So what I did is I just jam out things, and it just became this part right here. So what I did in this the first half of the second drop was I export the vocal I process from Ableton Live. Yeah, so together with the with this percussion. Yeah, so I don't want to cause this. This part right here is not. It is not by the function at all. No, it's not. It's not polyphons. So I just want to jam out something. So it became this part of the song. So I think this is sublab. I use sublab for this 808 part of the song. Sublab is a very powerful 808 tool to create this kind of stuff, and I really like it. And this part right here is. That I use is basically the same thing as the first drop, minus the chord progression modification. And so this part right here is the ending of the song right here. That's the song, and I this is the arcade vocal, this is FX stuff, for Harashima to create that reverb sounds on the vocals, and then the pianos at the end. That's it. That's Startup Adventures. Of course, there's a lot of things to say about this, but I mostly cover every single things about the song arrangement. So now let's talk a little bit, because I do have something to say about the process of mixing the song. So my workflow is I produce and mix at the same times, and master at the same time as well. So the, the process actually helped me very it just worked very well for me, because I can just look around at things, and I can just technically how you debug things. Like if you know if you know coding, and you know about debugging something in the code. This is basically the same things. I just look at when I mix things and I hear something sounds not quite right. I can just look at the mixers, and I can just find the stuff that I don't like, and I can just adjusting the volume. So as you can see, my voluming dynamic is very all the places. So if I play this right here, I reserve one channel for post-processing effects for like fruity balance. Fruity balance was for if it was to lower the volumes to prevent clipping in the pre-masters, and endless mile, as as you already know, is create the intensity for the build up. The tape stop effects, the stutter edit that I used MIDI to control stutter edit. Right here is this one, and what else do I have? So that's post-processing bus, and it's connected to main. So all of the channel is not going to the master channel. It's going through the post-process channels, and then the post-process channel go to the main channel. So the main channel, what I have here is I have a linear phase EQs, because like I cut off 32 hertz, because like pretty sure not a lot of people hears and hear something under this areas of of the songs. So unless you play this in the big speakers in the festival, you can actually just feel it. But yeah, fruity balance, well, this is actually unused. I supposed to delete this, but oops, it's still here. So that's one. The fruity parametric EQ2, I actually use this to cut off a little bit of high end and lows. Back then I turn off the linear phase in HQ to make sure that this is fast process. So yeah, that's one. Ozone 8 elements, I think that Ozone 8 I only use maximizers, and I use maximizer, and I lower the output to create the headroom for other thing to process. And then the Q2 is used to mostly fix the phasing issue. So I cut this at the side of the low end at 100 hertz, and then I boost the high end just a little bit at 3000 hertz, about 1.83 decibel right there. And yeah, that's all I did with stereo expanders to expand the stereo. Yeah, that's the only thing that it does, expand the audio, the stereo. I use Pro MB multiband compression to boost the bass and boost the high end, and it worked. It just worked. It just worked. I don't it wasn't work that way actually. I just you it just boost and compress at the same times. So to make sure it's not gonna get uh, overloaded in the mix. I have something called intensity right here. The intensity used to um, the intensity is used for creating harsh sounds in the mix, creating like like an intense loudness dynamic. So I just use intensity. I just use about 0.10 of the intensity, but it already giving me like some things that I really want, because I really want this song to be loud, and I want this song to be something something to be to create a crunchy texture in the mix. So I use intensity, and then I adjust a little bit at the gain in the output to make sure that I still have the headroom to work with. And all of this together, it go through the L2, and I only get like 10.5 gain, and yeah, that's it. And I use band for checking the coloration and every single signal that go through here to like make sure I got everything right. So that's how I made Startup Adventures. And yeah, so I very hope that this video tutorial will help you um, look through at the project file, and hopefully you learn something from the songs. And I hope that in the future I will be able to do more breakdown video like this, because it's really fun for me to not just rediscover all the stuff that I did in this song. There's a lot of things like in the past I work on and I forgot about it. I really forgot about it. Mostly the reason was because if I work on the song for a long time ago. Whenever I finish a project, I just never touch a project file ever again, resulting some of the project file I work on before I reinstall my Windows to be missing sample, because all of those sample was consolidated into like a default FL Studio folders. But after I've reinstalled Windows, and I was like, oh my god, I forgot I have consolidated sample everywhere in that C drive, and I wiped out by accident. So it was stupid, but I learned my lesson. So from next time on, I that shouldn't be a problem for me. But yeah, I really hope that you learn something about a startup adventure, because this is like a fairly easy song. Like there's nothing really special about about the project file itself, but this song I've been working on for a while, and it finally comes out. It comes out on my birthday. It it actually a song that I really proud of. A lot of people asking me about this song since last year when I put this in Twitters, on Twitters. So yeah, I really hope that this being very helpful to for you to look through my workflow on working on the song, especially for a song like this. And yeah, and it's been really fun working through this song again. And this is Tenkitsune, and you watching Started Adventure Breakdown. And I hope to see you again. Thank you for watching this breakdown videos. See you. Bye bye.